Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, you guys could please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Today, we are reviewing a new Netflix film. Those are always good.
Oh, they're always great films. They make the best in the biz.
9 times out of 10, yeah, they're Oscar-worthy, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Pretty often.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting gypped a lot because they're not the typical,
The
studio.
streaming
Yeah,
service.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, they're always bad.
Yeah, they are.
They're always bad.
I'd say 9 out of 10.
But this one's a Western, and I love Westerns. You know I do. It is The Harder They Fall on Netflix, directed by Jeymes Samuel, who is very interesting, a musician turned filmmaker. He goes by the stage name The Bullets. Do you know who he's related to?
Jay-Z?
Nope.
Okay.
He's related to singer-songwriter Seal.
Oh, okay.
Is that weird?
That is weird. I just took a stab in the dark there because he directed some Jay-Z music videos.
Yeah, that's
so I was
the
like,
thing.
hey, maybe.
I don't really know who he is as a musician. I'm sure he's probably pretty popular.
His stage name is The Bullets.
The Bullets, yeah. Yeah, but I guess all of his music is very cinematic. I guess with both his albums to come out, he also comes out with short films for them, which is pretty cool in my mind. I mean, as a filmmaker lover, I would say. But yeah, so this is his directorial debut. And this is a revisionist American Western. Mason, what did you think of The Harder They Fall?
Finally, we get a good Netflix film.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if I got to actually like just break it down like that. I mean, I had a lot of fun with this Western. I enjoyed it a lot. Got to be honest.
I liked it too. It's probably not my favorite Western of all time, but I did like it. It's the imagery and visual. It's very fun to look at. It's very good looking film. There's some really cool, interesting, unique scenes in this film that I haven't seen. One particularly was the White Town that they go into, where the entire town is
white.
I thought that was really cool. Going into
the
that.
bank. I mean, even go into the interior.
The dirt
like
was
the
white.
bank.
I mean, it was like salt. It was everything was white. And then I can't remember the name of the town, but in parentheses, it said the White Town.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about this. This is so fucking blaring and so obvious that this film was heavily inspired by another Western, Django Unchained. They look very fucking similar in tone and in music for sure. The score of this film is awesome. I liked it. Very cool. And of course, you're probably going to get that with a musician director.
Well, and guess who the composer was?
Him?
Jeymes Samuel.
Of course.
Of course.
He was also, I guess, he wasn't the composer, but he was the executive music supervisor for the 2013 Great Gatsby.
Interesting.
Which had a lot of music, a lot of flair. It was almost a musical, I would say. But yeah, he did a great job in that sense. The squibs were on point. They almost 100% got the squib guy from Django Unchained because it's so fucking obviously look exactly the same when they're shot. But giant, big fucking explosions whenever anyone's shot. I really like that. It's visually very good looking. Not super realistic, but because when people get shot in this movie and in Django Unchained, it is an explosion of matter.
It's definitely more gruesome.
The squib guy is going ham in the paint for this one guy.
Well, and
he's
neck
loading the
stabs and
squib.
stuff,
Yeah.
or slit throats. There's a lot of blood, and it's a lot of squirting blood.
And with the title cards and everything, it felt very Django Unchained. Like, clearly they were taking influences from Quentin Tarantino, but how do you not? He's made some relevant Westerns in recent time. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was definitely a kind of a different take on a Western for sure. I mean, we got to talk about it. It's 99% black cast.
Yes.
That's the very first Western I've ever seen like that. Definitely. I mean, mostly
I think so,
it's all
yeah.
white people,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
which is a flip on the head for sure. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, stylistically, it looked really good. I don't know if the writing was there as much as it was style, but Because I felt like, for one, Idris Elba, who plays Rufus Buck, I didn't think he had enough to do in the film.
Kind of made sense, though, at the end. Kind of made sense as to why, because like the whole time, like during the big battle scenes and stuff, he's just standing out there looking through the window. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
But still, I mean, I get 100% what you're saying. It's like there just wasn't. They could have showed him as a bad guy, though. Like, give me a sense that this guy is really fucking bad. We should have had some kind of background, and it's a 2 hour and 20 minute film, which is long for a Western film for sure. So I felt like we could have but we got a lot more background in the side gang with Lakeith Stanfield, who's in fucking everything these days.
As Buffalo Bill,
Cherokee Bill, not Buffalo
Bill
from
good God,
Signs of the Lambs.
Yes,
that would be a different movie.
It would be a different movie entirely.
This lighthearted Western, and this guy is skinning people, making lampshades out of them.
Cherokee Bill.
Yeah.
Dude, Lakeith is a really good actor, and I loved his role in this. Just that casual.
He almost should have been the main bad guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he is, yeah. His character was really interesting in the fact that he wasn't really that big of a badass. He'll just shoot you in the back.
Yeah, he was a coward.
He was really good at shooting people.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the best at it. Like, the best in the West. He was.
Best in the West is shooting you in the back.
Because every time you were thinking, oh, this guy's about to do something crazy, he would never do it. He would just shoot you as you were turning around.
Yeah. When you weren't expecting it.
Which is, it does come in handy in the West because there's so much theatrics before anyone dies. There's throw down your guns. It's a big show every time someone's about to kill someone. But I thought he did a really good job. But we get way more time with Lakeith Stanfield than we do with Idris Elba.
For sure.
Way more time. And we get a lot more time with, what's her name? Regina King as well. She's fantastic too.
She's great in this.
Yeah, she's fantastic as well.
It's Trudy Smith.
What do they call her? Something terrible Trudy or something like that. Everyone's got a nickname in this. It's the Old West. You
got to have a nickname.
But yeah, I thought we've spent way more time with them than the big bad guy, which was Idris Elba, and how they promoted this movie was like, it's all Idris Elba. Mm-hmm. Right. I didn't even know he was the bad guy. I thought he was the main character.
Well, even in the trailers and stuff, I mean, it was definitely insinuated that he was going to have a huge role in this.
Yeah, he does not at all. It's definitely but the cast is fantastic for what they can do and what's there for them. They do a really good job. Jonathan Majors is also someone we see in everything now.
Yeah, and also a phenomenal actor and does a really good job as Nat Love, too.
Yeah.
And like that character development, and especially at the end, too, those were some super fucking emotional scenes with him and Idris Elba. And obviously Idris, that's easy, but I thought Jonathan Majors knocked it out of the park.
That was a scene where I'm like, God damn, I wish we had a lot more Idris Elba. Mm-hmm. I mean, that scene was so good. It was all built up to that 1-2 minute scene. It was good and also infuriating at the same time. Yeah. You're like, holy shit, we could have had this the entire movie. Because Idris Elba, I mean, all these guys are great actors. I gotta say, he's probably the best out of all of them. He shows a ton of range, but not enough time for him. I wanted to see how he got arrested and all that, and because they got him in the fucking Hannibal Lecter cage. You really, it makes it seem like this is a bad guy. Mm-hmm. But we never see that.
Yeah, but I did enjoy that train scene too when the
but I wanted a reason of why he was there. Mm-hmm. There's no reason. There's no.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a villain. He's an outlaw in the West.
I mean, but this guy is like fucking Jesse James times 10 if he's getting his own train car. I mean, there was
imagine how hot that metal tube would have been.
No way seeing that.
Or metal box, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy is so bad, he's getting an own army platoon to watch over him, but we never get any backstory of what he did to get there. All we hear is that he's fucking really bad. But we don't get why. But yeah, that was a really good scene. It was kind of ridiculous in that it just reminded me that the colonel, his son, was also part of like the army. I don't get why that would happen, but I know, and he's the only guy not in the main car. Like, if they're gonna use one guy against you, it's clearly gonna be your son.
So maybe you should not send your son out there to stop all the bad guys.
Hey, boy, get on out there.
Yeah. I trust you, son.
You're the only one that wouldn't betray me. And then immediately turns around and he's betraying him. Yeah, I think that again, now that I break down that scene, it's more and more ridiculous that the train conductor stopped.
Yeah, why not
This
go
is
through?
the Old West.
Right. You're going to stop for one person on a horse. If they don't move, that's their problem.
Not only that, but if my dad had been watching this fucking movie, because he's a conductor, and it's miserable watching any movie with him that's train involved, he would be infuriated because it takes trains miles to stop. This guy stops on a
and it's done in 15 feet.
So my dad would have been up in arms.
I guarantee
he would have left the room for sure. Oh, fuck that stupid train. But
I know it's a bit of a side note, but I'm curious. Does he have to go, does he work for days at a time somewhere else? Because he's like a train conductor. So
no, there is that, but he works in the yard, so he moves trains back and forth that are ready to go.
Yeah.
You can go on the road is what it's called.
Right.
But you're gone days at a time. He didn't do that because he had kids, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
He could do it now, but they make a lot more money if you on the road.
Really?
Yeah, they make really good money. Yeah. But yeah, why the fuck would he stop for? You're not blowing right through. Conductors today aren't stopping for you. There's one guy on the road. They gotta keep this train moving, baby.
Yeah.
We got products.
Yeah, we got
cars to
shipping
move.
containers to move.
Yeah. Exactly. So I thought that whole thing was like,
well, not only that, but if you know you have obviously the conductor would know this. You have a prisoner in the back with a whole platoon of soldiers protecting him. You're not going to stop for one person on a horse.
it's the fucking Old West. Every train is being robbed.
Getting robbed, yeah.
Every fucking train is getting robbed. That's why you have these guys with you. Mm-hmm. It's like this conductor, although he was like a 98-year-old man, is like his first fucking train ride. That's one thing is like I did enjoy this film, but a lot of the scenes were very un-Western to me. Of like, what I love about Western films are really being able to get in there and like feel like you're there. Because the West needs to be fucking dirty and gritty. And too many of these people had conscience. Where like they were so, even when it's like a bad guy, they wouldn't shoot him. They would wait till the bad guy turned around and be like, all right, we got to do this the right way. It's like, it's the Old West. You're constantly getting just shot in the back. Well, it's dirty, it's gross, it's gritty. Everyone's working for their own. There's too much conscience going on in this movie.
And with Westerns too, like some of the things that I love the most is like if you were to rob a train or try to get on a train, what they could have done, which would have been a quick fix and would have solved all the problems, right? Is you have someone, even Judy herself, like roll up on the horse, get, to the very front of the train, hop on, and then hold the conductor at gunpoint and say, stop the train or I'm going to blow your head off.
Or blown the tracks.
Yeah, blown the tracks.
I mean, any of the classic Western shit to do. Yeah. Just going out there and be like, this is your master plan.
It's just going to stand there with a horse and pray to God this guy stops.
I know, like, what the pray to God this 98-year-old guy, fucking Old West conductor is going to stop. Yeah, that's the thing is I think the weakest part about this film was the writing, unfortunately. Especially with the final shootout, just seemed very, I don't know, over the top and theatrical.
I kind of liked it though. If I'm being honest, I enjoyed the Western shootout at the end. I mean, with all the people and
you've never seen worse fucking henchmen in this fucking movie. These guys are fucking useless half the time, and there's a ton of them, but they can't hit anything, nothing at all. But yeah, it's
well, and too, like the thing with true Westerns, and there have been Westerns in the past, and I'm trying to think of them specifically. But, not nearly as accurate. These guns back in the old Western days were not accurate at all.
Well, yeah, there's very rare films that are that accurate to Western.
There have been a handful, though.
The Assassination of Jesse James with Brad Pitt, that one is very realistic to where they're in rooms and you're firing right at a guy, and it's because that's exactly how it was. But I would say 95% Westerns are not like that because just not as entertaining at all. No one's hitting anyone.
No one wants to watch a bunch of guys miss multiple shots.
No shootout in the West was like you've seen in a Western movie. The battle at OK Corral, one of the most famous fights of all time, like 2 guys died. But in every time you see it in a movie, 30 guys are dying.
Right.
The bodies are dropping left and fucking right. It's a massacre. It never happened. I mean, these guns are they're horrible. But in these ones, man, people are dead eye. Especially that fast kid who, I did like that scene when they were really building it up.
Jim Beckworth is the actor. I forget his character's name. God, what is his name?
It was something like Pip or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know.
No, Jim Beckworth is the actual character. The actor is R.J. Seiler. There we go.
Oh, right. Yeah, he was the one that always wanted to
Quick
fight.
jaw Jim. Yeah.
Yep, he wanted to fight Cherokee.
Yep. Bill. Finally got that opportunity, but counted a little too slow. I did like that a lot, though, because that was a good... I mean, you kind of saw it coming because of Cherokee Bill's history, but I did like that, where like he finally got that opportunity. He's been calling him out. He tried to call him out, before, and then obviously everyone got mad at him, and then he finally gets his opportunity. It counts a little too slow, was unready, and got shot right in the face.
My God, of course you're counting too slow. There's other things going on. He's the slowest, most dramatic 5 count you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fucking you. To me, I was almost like, yeah, Cherokee Bill has got other shit to do. I mean, he can't be standing around all day. Why? But yeah, I thought again, there's some unrealistic scenes for sure of because there's an earlier scene when there's like a battle about to happen, and then that kid immediately steps up and like interrupts everything, and then Cherokee Bill just walks away. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that at all. It's stupid. But yeah, I thought that kid also Delroy Lindo, who also I felt did not have enough to do in this fucking movie as Bass Reeves the Marshal. I thought he was going to have a much larger role too. He's great. I love Delroy. He was great in what's the Vietnam movie we just watched with Spike Lee?
The Five Bloods?
Yeah, the Five Bloods. He was great in that, but I didn't think he had enough to do in this. I like Delroy, but
Oh yeah, is the obviously is the but the sheriff.
yeah,
Yes. Right.
yeah, and he's the marshal. Yeah,
Or the marshal.
yeah, he takes him. I just felt like he was introduced, and you definitely felt like him and Jonathan Major's character were like gonna go off and do their own thing or whatever. But then he's thrown in at the very end again. He comes at the battle, but he does not have a lot to do. A lot of these characters just do not have a lot to do.
It's definitely a good shot though. Hit quite a few of those outlaws.
It was so easy to hit those. Those guys cannot hit anything. The bad guys, they're stormtroopers. But the good guys couldn't fucking miss.
Yeah.
They're dead eye. But something that I thought was cool about this was like, again, obviously it's a newer looking Western film, including that's all black cast. But all of these characters, at the very start, it said these were real people. They're all real people. They're all actual people of the West. They were all, black cowboys. Mm-hmm. We've never seen them in fucking film. It's kind of weird.
It is weird. Yeah.
And a lot of things that people don't know is 25% of cowboys in the West were black.
Really?
Yeah, 25%.
Wow.
And how many years have we seen Western films where there's not a single black guy in them? I mean, 95,
99%. Yeah.
Yeah, 60s to 70s. I mean, nothing unless they're playing like they took care of the horses or something like that. Never do you see a black cowboy in any fucking movies except for Django.
Right. Well, and Hateful Eight.
Right, but not the original Hateful Eight.
No, but the Tarantino.
Or the Magnificent Seven, I'm thinking.
In
the Magnificent Seven, there's black, but not in the original Magnificent Seven. But, so yeah, it's like Stagecoach Mary and Nat Love and all these people were Bass Reeves, the guy who Lindo. They were all real people, real badasses. So I thought it was cool to have them all come together in one movie.
Right.
Almost like an Avengers level Western
Westerns,
characters. Yeah. Because it is ridiculous.
I did like the opening scene. Kind of set the tone for the whole film too, and you understand why Nat Love was the way he was. Jonathan Majors' character, Nat Love. But as a small child, they're eating dinner, everything's fine, and Idris Elba walks in, Buck walks in, and that scene was super dramatic because he's like, hey, like your beef's with me, and you don't really know what's going on.
For some reason, they don't show Idris Elba's face in that.
No.
But it's clear. I don't know why they did that. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was just the scorpion tattoo, and that was it.
I thought that was going to be a bigger thing too, but they immediately killed that guy.
Yeah, he did right away, and then that was that, man. They didn't move.
Never talk about that again. Yeah. There's a lot of things, again, I'm going to complain about. There's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, this is going somewhere. That does not end up going. But yeah, I like that intro a lot. I was really scared that there wasn't going to be any connection between Idris Elba and Jonathan Majors.
Right.
Because they never hint out why Idris Elba killed that family until the last 5 minutes. Right. To where you're like, hey, we're brothers.
Brothers, and your dad was actually a horrible piece of shit to my mom, killed my mom, and then
don't know why
has a good family.
Don't know why he had to kill the mom.
To inflict the same pain that he did.
I know, but clearly you are. I guess that was.
I mean, I understand that. I understand that as far as revenge, as far as an old Western, like as you're a kid and you watch your mom's throat get slit.
Well, she had to die, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she didn't get throat. She got shot.
No. I'm talking about Idris Elba's mom.
Oh yeah, Idris Elba. Well, yeah, because she had to die.
Did,
I was talking about Jonathan Majors' mom.
But that's what I'm saying is you have to inflict that same pain on that man. He's got to watch his new wife die, thinking he's going to watch his kid die, and then you kill him.
Yeah,
because he killed her first, and then he killed him.
It's like beyond the grave pain that he's trying to inflict. Because he's like, I wanted his son, but like, I don't think he cares that much once he's dead. What's going on? But yeah, he wanted but clearly he was gonna come back to kill him. But that was the whole thing. Is he hated his dad so fucking much.
He hunted him down for like. What?
Not only that,
years?
but killing him wasn't enough. He had to take his son and make his son a bad guy. It is like Joker level revenge.
It was Joker level revenge. There were a lot of layers to that. Where I was like,
absolutely. Yeah.
This guy's got a lot of hate.
It's like he's doing a psychology warfare on this family. But a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And he would have been so much older too as a brother.
Yeah, he would have been.
Really, really old. To come back, obviously, and be part of a gang already to kill his dad. So, I mean, he would have been pretty fucking old. I mean, they would have been separated by 20 years.
That's
his
a
dad
great
should
point.
have been older.
That's probably why they didn't show Idris Elba in that. Because
he would have been much
younger. Yeah, he would have been a young man.
Idris Elba, let's be honest, he doesn't look that old anyways.
No, but again, for the context of it, to have Jonathan Majors grow up to be a full-grown man and then Idris Elba look the exact same way.
Well, they would have had to. Well, what they would have done is he has a beard through the whole thing. Shave the beard. That immediately makes you look
Try
younger.
to de-age him a little bit with
for
some
sure.
basic prosthetics or something.
Super easy. They do it all the time. For this movie, it wouldn't have been like a thing where like, whoa, what the fuck? He hasn't aged a day. Or like it. But yeah, I get it. I did like the connection. That was the best writing for sure, was the very end of the connection of him being the brother. But
I thought they tied it. Yeah, and that's what I liked about it.
It was getting there was like, they had to like almost waste a lot of time to get there. To the point where it's like, remember they bring the money, then the money wasn't enough, and then they got to go back. There's a lot of running around.
Yeah.
Now you got to go rob a bank.
Right, because you got to pay me an extra 10.
Why did they rob the bank? They were going to blow up the money anyways.
Yeah.
Just buy the bank bags, fill them up with dirt. No one checks.
Yeah, no one checked that money. That's so funny. I didn't even think about that.
They did that whole bank robbery for nothing.
For nothing. Yeah.
For absolutely, and they didn't even need the what was her name? Guffey? Mm-hmm. They didn't need her for anything.
Right.
They could just rob that bank. They ran in there, but like they didn't need the money or anything. It was clearly, just for some reason make this a little longer when it was already a really long film.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Or not quite, but almost.
Just about 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think. Yeah. So I don't really know why they had to do the whole runaround thing, but there was a Wayne's brother in it at one point. They played the Crimson Hood guy, who has a larger role than you think anyone else was going to have.
No, I know. And then he came back at the end.
Why would he come back and let him go?
I know. I don't know.
Why?
What was the line that he said to him?
I can't remember.
I forget.
Oh, exhale.
Exhale. Yep, that's right.
Why the fuck would he come
back and try to kill him? I don't know. He let him free.
I know, and like a moment before that too, earlier in the film, they go, "That was the last Crimson Hood. Why'd you let him go?" And at the end of the movie, there's 30 more Crimson Hoods. They all came back to the city for some reason.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to grow. You got to grow.
There just wasn't enough bodies at the end, I guess, but because they need more Crimson Hoods. But yeah, why the fuck that guy would come back? let him live. Comes
It's
back
those
just
cowboys.
to
They're
die.
always seeking revenge. Doesn't matter where.
That's true. That's
Or
all that
when.
feels him. Yeah. But overall, I thought it was a decent Western. We don't get Westerns very often anymore.
Yeah, honestly, like I had a good time watching it, and I think it's a good film for Netflix, especially. And it's different, you know. I mean, you talk about having essentially an all-black cast in westerns, which is something important, which is something we should have, especially if 25% of all cowboys or outlaws were black in history. Like, you should have more of that. So I actually walked away from this enjoying it. I thought they tied the little knot or the bow on this really well with Buck, obviously, with Nat Love actually being Nat Buck and being a half brother of Buck as well. So I like that whole story development. I thought that scene was really powerful too. I thought Jonathan Majors knocked it out of the park with his fucking emotions, from crying, being sad and devastated, to just wanting to seek revenge and just keep pulling the trigger, and you could just see his face. Just
I would have still
continue to
killed
get
him
mad.
too. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I thought Jonathan Majors did a fantastic job. It's much more of like an action Western for sure than just a straight up Western, which is what I like more, is the more gritty, down to earth. But this is much more of a Magnificent Seven-esque. There's explosions, definitely explosions for sure.
few.
There's a lot of like actiony scenes rather than it's just static on the street shooting, which is, I like that more. But yeah, I think it's a very suitable. It gave me Django and Chain vibes. It's not. I don't say they're as good, and I love Django and Chain.
That's
they're
one
not
of the
in the same
best.
ballpark for me. But it was fun for sure. It's yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. Is it was definitely fun to go and watch.
I'm curious to see what the
It got really good Rotten Tomatoes score.
did it really?
Yeah,
Oh, certified fresh at 86%.
and I wouldn't give it that high.
Audience score was 93%. Yeah, you know, I would give it a B though. I would give it a B. Maybe not like a B plus or anything like what the certified fresh, but especially for a Netflix. I guess I'm also catering my expectations for Netflix films too. Like if you're talking to someone and you go, "Hey, what are the best films to watch on Netflix right now?" Like, this has got to be one of them. Right? Like,
I would tell you to
the
watch.
bar is set very low.
I would tell you don't
but-
waste your time on Netflix watching fucking movies. You need to be watching.
So you wouldn't recommend this to like?
No, I would say if someone's asking me what I need to watch on Netflix, I wouldn't go, hey, gotta watch this. I would say watch their series first. I mean, Netflix has much better series.
Better
I wouldn't
television.
go jump into the movie catalog.
Yeah, no.
I would definitely, say watch about 1,000 hours of their TV series first. But yeah, I mean, the bar is set so low. This is one of the best Netflix movies.
It is.
But
Of
I'd
this
say,
year.
hey, if you're gonna watch anything on Netflix right now, go watch Midnight Mass.
Oh my God, so good.
Don't
Did you
waste
finish it yet?
Yes.
Wow, well, we're gonna have to talk about that off air, but
Yeah,
God,
don't waste
so
your
fucking good.
That's what I would say, because again, Netflix has not found the formula yet to just making consistently making. But
who knows?
This
The
one,
new
like I say, this
Western-
is one of the rarer ones. It's a good movie for sure.
You don't know. I mean, maybe the next Western Dust will be just as good.
Dust?
Dust.
What is that?
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I just realized. Yeah. I don't think they're continuing shooting on it.
No, they're done. No, even Baldwin was like, "No, it's a wrap. We're not making this film." There's no
That
way.
is,
You can't.
We have 5 minutes. Let's talk about it. Why not you? We talk about it all the time. You have to almost continue shooting if someone
But
dies.
two different cinematographers, like you could completely, like everyone, especially with
Pretty rare when the
cinematographers, they have-
cinematographer dies. Yeah,
Yeah, they all have their own like unique styles.
that's
it would
the
be a
safest
weird
job. It's got to be the safest job on the set is cinematographer.
Typically, yeah.
For
It's a
sure.
crazy, wild story, dude.
Yeah, Dust.
A lot of finger pointing. We don't know what the hell's going on.
But,
Dummy round. Someone may have sabotaged. This is all
Well,
alleged.
someone fucked up for sure.
yeah.
I don't think it was sabotage, but someone got lazy. What I heard.
That's the Armorer's attorneys making that case, though. I'm not saying it's true. I'm
yeah.
just saying they're making.
According to the
these
Armor,
cases.
no idea what they put in that gun.
or the dummy
Just
rounds that
yeah.
were on set. It's wild.
But what did happen was 2 weeks previously, crew member did
Walked
quit
out.
because of the safety of the set.
Yeah.
That obviously someone was fucking up. Someone needs to go to jail for sure. I don't know who it's going to be. It doesn't need to be Alec Baldwin.
Nor do I. Well, he isn't a producer on set.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not checking the fucking guns.
But as a producer, you should, like, you're liable for people on set. I don't think he should go to jail either. It was an accident. But at the same time, someone's got to be
a low, like, the producers would never be going on set and checking the guns or anything like that. Producers are the highest people on the movie sets. I mean, that they're not fucking with that shit for sure.
But producers are responsible for the funding of the film, for the hiring of the film. Like, they're responsible for a lot. I'm not saying he's directly responsible for it, but someone's got to be held accountable for that. And
it will be. It won't be Alec Baldwin. It will have to be.
Unless
it's the armor. It's got to be the armor.
Right.
It's not sabotage.
No. Hold on. Unless the set was sabotaged, like, there should be no criminal charges. That's the point I'm trying to make here. But someone should be held liable and at least responsible, even if it's
negligence.
Negligence, yeah. But no, I don't think criminal charges should be warranted here at all.
I think it's similar to like running or hitting someone in your car or something. You're not going to be set up for manslaughter, which means that I mean, you didn't intentionally
involuntary.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, he didn't. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, but someone needs to be. I mean, there needs to be. Someone needs to pay for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you'd have live rounds on set to begin with. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Well, that's another confusing. We're getting bogged down, but live rounds on a movie set are blanks also. So when they say live rounds, it's also a blank.
Well, what do you
live
mean?
rounds do not mean they're shooting projectiles on a set. Movie lingo wise, yeah.
But yes, okay. So
because I know when people see the news article, they think live rounds. They're thinking
is real ammunition.
Bullets are being loaded in there, which can be very confusing. Live rounds on a movie set. Anytime you got a gun that has bullets in it, it's live rounds. It's blanks.
Well, but not the actual bullet part. But you're talking about like the dummies, which have no gunpowder or anything in them. Like you're supposed to be able to shake them to know the difference. So like for aesthetically, for like when a camera's shooting behind someone who holds a gun, you want to make sure that it's a dummy round, so it's not a real. But you have to also have the bullet so you can see. So it looks like a real ammunition, but it's not really firing. Does not have the capability to fire.
No, dummy rounds do not fire. Blanks fire.
Blanks, yeah. Yes. So that's the difference there. Like with blanks for like the smoke effect for when you fire.
Which everyone uses blanks. Everyone uses blanks. Yeah. There's very little people do digitally insert after, but almost everyone is still using blanks, which is a whole nother thing. It's like, do people need to use blanks still? It's opening up. It's just so weird because after Brandon Lee died, there's so many precautions put in place that they said, if you follow these rules, no one will ever die. So that's why it's negligent and someone was not following the rules.
Right.
So that's why you got to put someone, someone's got to pay for it.
And basic firearm safety too, is you're not supposed to aim a gun and fire it. Now, we don't know the details as far as like if that was...
They're rehearsing too, not even the actual scene.
Right. So it's, again... It's tricky. We're gonna have to see the whole thing play out because we don't have all. But it's a wild story.
It's a crazy story, man. Yeah, it's for one person to be shot is fucking insane. For two people to be shot, it's unfucking heard of. People have died from blanks all the time. Brandon Lee. There's been other actors that died, but it's always been a freak accident.
Yeah.
But it's always been someone fucking around. And it's going to be, we will find out that it was someone that wasn't just paying attention.
Yeah.
Brutal, though.
It is. Very brutal. I'm very curious to see the court case and everything and how they're going to fucking deal with all this. But that is our review.
Yeah.
For The Harder They Fall. If you guys like what you've seen here.
Follow us and maybe we'll do a review of Dust at some point. Maybe the footage of it.
Maybe the 15 minutes of footage.
But it's still, I mean, I want to know how much they were filming, how much done were they, was it almost completed?
A few weeks worth if people walked off 2 weeks prior. Because typically for a film like that, it'd probably take 5-6 weeks to shoot.
Less than that, probably way less than probably 20 days, 20 to 28 days probably for a small Western. It wasn't a big, it was like a smaller studio Western for sure. They just happened to get Alec Baldwin, but But yeah, I can't imagine they were going to be shooting for very long. So that's the thing. It's like, if we got the movie complete almost, do these people die for nothing? But if it's almost to put where it's like not even halfway through, no, you can't fuck. Because there's no way you're going to get Alec Baldwin to even want to hold a gun for probably a year or so.
And you don't want to go back to that space. You don't want to go back to
so
that
dramatic.
mindset. Yeah, dude.
You're not supposed to be seeing people die for real on a movie set.
No.
Just something that is
supposed
not...
to be play. Yeah, no, it's supposed to be acting. You're not actually, that's a little too method for my taste.
It's, yeah, I mean, it's just, again, it's so fucking crazy. But, yeah, it's probably going to hurt the Western. I can only imagine.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately. But,
all right.
yeah.
Well, that is our review for The Harder They Fall. If you guys like what's in here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause. Until next time.
Bye.